Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Generic Live Show episode number 7. It is recorded the 20th of August 2014. Yeah, well, I got that going for me. Yes. So, want to know what that is? Or stream. Hello, streamers. I didn't totally almost forget about you at all. So I have to quickly test something. Let's go with blah 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 history. In other news, this. Okay, yep, that works. No, alright. I figured it out. I've cracked the code. And there's always someone watching you. Alright. There we go. Generic live show. There we go. Alright. Google Plus. Is there a thing you can't do? Alright. Let's do this thing. We're going in 3, 2, and 1.
Girls are whack, man.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Generic Live Show. This is the Generic Live Show for August 20th, 2014. I'm Dale Campbell, delivering your weekly dose of generic goodness for you on a platter for you to enjoy. Eat off your generic platter filled with generic cheese and crackers. I'm saying. From around Australia and the world. Yes, that's what I mentioned, Dale Campbell, and this is episode 7. Yeah, we're doing another episode of the live show. And it's good to be back in a little week, in a whole wholesome, filled week of genericness. And we're here. Why do I keep saying that, by the way? I keep saying we're here. Me and listeners are here together on an adventure through the genericness, and it starts with a look at some of the kiki. Yes! Kick off the Generic Live Show this week with Google. Google probably already knows your age, your interests, and pretty much everything you do online. But there's proof now that Google knows exactly where you are pretty much all the time. Google's location services, recently brought to the public attention, knows exactly where you and your cell/mobile phone has been, and it even conveniently breaks down the location and shows you by day as well. Yay, convenient. Proving that it doesn't only know where its users are located, but it's also keeping a record of that sort of thing. All of this is fine or creepy. Luckily, it's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting that we're being spied on by Google. For the record, we would like to mention that it's very easy to turn off your phone's location, but you have to do that by disabling your location services and your GPS and your location history for Google not to locate you. That's another thing as well as you can do. But for those people who are not aware, Google's tracking you, and that could be a terrifying thing for some people. In other Google news, Google is considering allowing online accounts for children under the age of 13, giving their parents control over how the service is used, according to media reports. Google has been working on a version of YouTube for youngsters and is considering other child-friendly, in air quotes, accounts such as its Gmail system, the Financial Times reported, citing people familiar with the matter, which is now all of you, because I've now told you about this and you are now also familiar with the matter. Internet companies such as Google and Facebook do not offer their services currently for people under the age of 13, children under the age of 13 for that matter. But it's tough to catch users who sign up providing false information. A US law called the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, or COPPA, imposes strict controls over the collection and the use of information for people under the age of 13. See above story for details. Internet streaming services Netflix experienced some potential outage last night for Americans, yesterday night for people over here, preventing customers from watching some movies and television programs. The company said in a tweet that customers in all areas, with the exception of Europe, were experiencing streaming issues, and it was going to look into the matter. Instead of their normal selections, many customers were presented with a limited number of shows and movies that could be accessed instead. It wasn't immediately clear how many customers were affected or when the outage actually occurred. Of course, Netflix representatives said nothing. The last significant outage to hit Netflix occurred on Christmas Eve in 2012, with a disruption in Amazon's cloud service hobbled Netflix streaming service for several hours. That outage was traced back to not a Netflix issue, but more of an issue with Amazon Web Service servers. Say that 10 times fast and let me know how you actually get on with that. Steve Ballmer makes our news tonight. Today, officially cutting the remaining official tie with the company. He ran for 14 years, resigning as member of Microsoft's board of directors. The announcement, which closes a big chapter in Microsoft's history, was expected. In February, Ballmer stepped down as CEO in favor of Satya Nadella. Since then, he has kept a very low profile, with his biggest news being the $2 billion purchase of the Los Angeles Clippers basketball team and hair salon. The announcement, which closed a big chapter in Microsoft's history. Oh, I've already just said that. Funny that. Indeed, Ballmer referenced his new career as a basketball owner and hairdresser owner in what was framed as Dear Sasa letter, which said, quote, "In my confidence and the new multitude of new commitments I am taking on now," funny, "it would be impractical for me to continue to serve on the board. It's best for me to move off." Flicked off the board. The fall will be hectic, between teaching a new class and the start of the NBA season. So my departure from the board will be effective as of immediately. He will be also being flipped on to yet another board, but that board being a scoreboard. I have to make as many bad jokes as I can just to get my quota filled for the night. Also, finally, in our headlines, not much geeky news for the week, but that's fine. But, this is big news. Finally, the news we were all waiting for. Torch Arcade reports that Flappy Bird creator Dong Nguyen will reveal swing chopters this week. What? There are, of course, clear similarities between the two games. Both involve very similar actions and similar, really basic graphics. And both are likely to send you spiraling into madness. Because, that's what these games are designed for. The one big difference, though, between the two games is kind of the direction. With Flappy Bird, you had to fly horizontally between pipes. With swing chopters, an early YouTube video of the game shows that you're trying to keep your chopper flying upwards while avoiding barrels that swing from metal frames. Just like the enormously successful game about a bird who needs power of a finger tap to fly, swing chopters requires you a tap to keep the hero of the game in flight. And who doesn't love a good sequel game? They really, really lost a good opportunity. They should have really called this game, they really, really should have called this game Flappy Chopper. Flappy Chopper. They really, really lost an opportunity there. Yeah, that's just me. And there's a look at the headlines. Whoops, that I expected more impromptu than what I really wanted to. Hey, it's now time to talk about some stuff. If you are looking for great quality earphones or headphones to replace the old crappy ones that you currently have, then Tweaked Audio is the place for you. Tweaked Audio is sponsoring this episode of the Generic Live Show. Use the code GEEK, that's G-E, at checkout at tweakedaudio.com and get 33% off with free shipping. It's huge for people like us in Australia to get free shipping from products from America and a lifetime warranty as well on all products. 7 stars, 7 colors. That's GEEK at checkout. That's G-E-E-K at checkout for 33% off and free shipping and good quality earbuds. But if you are one of these people that doesn't like to support a sponsor, which is fine if you want to support us directly, you can. We are in ties with the Geek.io podcast network, and they have a Patreon at patreon.com/geek.io. You can give a little, give a lot. It really means the world to us if you can support this, not necessarily only this show, but other shows on the network, like Howard Stacks, for example. That goes to those guys, and of course the regular Geek.io show. That's patreon.com/geek.io. That's patreon.com/geek.io. Now, look, I have been seeing a lot of posts recently that it's not necessarily not bothering me, but kind of some people are really, really, really concerned about privacy. Funnily enough, I found an And it's in relation to Facebook Messenger as well. Facebook Messenger is coming underneath a lot of underneath a lot of scrutiny. Huh. Under a lot of scrutiny lately about particular privacy and what they do with your data and what they're entitled to actually do with your data, and kind of what type of information are they allowed to store, and what type of data they're allowed to store, and what they can do with that data after it is stored. They are across the board. I happened to stumble across an article that talks about Android because I have an Android phone. And I'm an Android user. I have a Samsung Galaxy S5. I'm holding it up to the lovely camera right now. I'm going to look at myself. There we go. I'm going to look at myself looking at my phone. Phoneception, I tell you. But no, I found this Android article, but the apps are the same in what is actually agree before downloading the app from Google Play or respective app stores. So let's have a look at what exactly this disclaimer that the Facebook Messenger, so that the app stores give to you before you download Facebook Messenger. Okay. And this is for Android, so it is categorized differently. Facebook Messenger app for Android. Identity. Find accounts on the device. Read your own contact card. Contacts and calendars. Read all your contacts. Location. Approximate location. Network-based. Preferences. Precise location. GPS and network-based. SMS. Edit your text messages. SMS or MMS. Receive text messages. SMS. Read your text messages. SMS or MMS. Send SMS messages and receive text messages, MMS. So the two separate things that the SMSs and MMSs. Phone. Directly call phone numbers. Read call log. Photos, media, and files. Test access to protected storage. Modify or delete the contacts of your USB storage, camera and microphone, take photos and videos, record audio. Wi-Fi connection information, view Wi-Fi connections, device ID and call information, read phone status and identity, other. We got to the other category in a relatively record time. Receive data from the internet, download files without notification. There's your biggie. Run it, setup. Prevent device from sleeping. View network connections. Install shortcuts. Change your audio settings. Read Google. Remember, this is the Android version of the app. Read Google service configuration. Draw over other apps. Full network access. Read sync settings, control vibration, change network connectivity. Now, this is a very good article, by the way, that I am quoting over here. That is done. I should give full credit to Jack Wallen of the techrepublic.com. Let me read the Google Hangout app for Android. He does a bit of a comparison between the two, and I'll pass that on to you guys as well, just for a bit of comparison. Just a bit of a disclaimer: it is longer, surprisingly, than the privacy comparison for Facebook Messenger. So Google Hangout requires more of your phone than Facebook Messenger does. But we'll get through this relatively quickly. Identity, find accounts on the device, add or remove accounts, contact/calendar, well, that's meant to mean, read your contacts, modify your contacts. That's in identity alone. Let's go to location. Approximate location, network-based. Precise location, GPS and network-based. SMS. Read your text messages, SMS or MMS. Receive your text messages, SMS or SMS. That's one whole line. Send SMS messages. Edit your text messages, SMS or MMS. And receive text messages, MMS. Phone. Directly call phone numbers. Photos, media, and files. Modify or delete the contents of your USB storage. Test access to protected storage. Camera/microphone. Take photos and video. Record audio. Wi-Fi connection information. View Wi-Fi connections. Device ID and call information. Read the phone status and identity. Other. Receive data from the internet. Read instant messages. Exchange messages and receive sync notifications from Google servers. Full network access. Control vibration. Run at startup. Use accounts on the device. View network connections. Control near field communication. Read Google service configuration. Prevent the device from sleeping. Change your audio settings. Pair with Bluetooth devices. Change network connectivity. And send sticky broadcast. Now, I am scared. One, because Hangouts asks more of me without me realizing, and yes, that makes me scared. But more so than anything else, that it is, sending sticky broadcasts. So, yeah, you got that going for you. Hangout sticky broadcast. I might make that a show title. Yeah, got that going for you. Now, where to go from here? People. Just people in general. I just want to talk to people. You agree to all of that. Okay? You agreed to all of those terms of service. You agreed to terms of service, and if there are any legal people listening, please correct me if I get this wrong on any level, because I really do want to get corrected on some of this legal stuff. I don't know any of this legal stuff, so it's just my opinion here. This is what this discussion point is. It is my opinion. Unless I have a guest on in the future, then they get to shine their opinion on it as well. But it is all opinionated. Yes, I am very opinionated. Surprise, anyone? Any new listeners? Users agreed to these terms of service. Therefore, they are bound to these terms of service. If you don't, see, the funny thing is, Facebook is forcing you they're forcing you to use this device because it is built into Facebook Messenger, and I know in America that it's already being on the Facebook mobile app that you got to use the Facebook Messenger to within the app. It forces you to use the Messenger app. But apart from that, still, when you have to download it from the Google Play Store, you agree to all of these terms of services. Therefore, you can't say that, oh, Facebook going into my seeing my cute puppy photo, you can't say that that is wrong because you agreed to, where is a Facebook Messenger, take pictures and photos. If you take a picture of your cute puppy, a guest book can see that. Simple as that. And there's also the age-old argument of Facebook. Did I really just say Spacebook? I'm gonna get hate mail for this, but anyway, Facebook. If you don't Facebook, use Facebook. You agree to these terms and conditions. You didn't necessarily agree to Facebook owning your picture after you've mine, but you know, those are the breaks of using our social media, a public social media, is that these photos and whatever you post on them is out there for public use. That's just how it goes. Now, see, that's hard because people can argue that they didn't ask me if they wanted to keep their photos. That's fine, but you do realize you're posting on a public medium. So, you know what? You signed your name up for this. If you want photos to be gone in a matter of 8 seconds, use Snapchat. If you don't want photos or messages stored for a long period of time, well, that is the sales pitch that Snapchat has, is that a disconnect of storage, but some people argue that that isn't real either. So, you know, what do you do? There's me slamming a cup on the desk. But no, what can you do? What can you do? There's not much you can do. Wow, that was a rant and a half. I was actually going to make this a shorter show because I'm trying to get this show down to half an hour maximum. And I know we're finding a groove, and I think this is a nice groove. But people, you agreed to this, and saying that you're against something you agreed to is what? But if you have any opinions, please do let me know. Dale@chefwonder.com. Please let me know. I'm willing to accept criticisms for my regards, and I'll read them right here on the show. I'm up for people proving me wrong. That's what this is all about. Alrighty. Massive rant and audio lag delay catched up. I really need to do that often. Things are still a bit wobbly. We're still trying to find our foot in terms of our footing in terms of pacing and what have you, and structure. But you know, this is better than what it was last week, so I'm happy. But I'm happy to leave that rant there. I'm willing to pick this rant back up if someone sends me feedback or wants me to talk about it in more detail. There you go. We're going to get out of here right now. Thank you everyone for joining us. This has been a shorter show, and I think 5 headlines in detail and then another separate discussion point is good. It does break it up kind of nice. We're like I said, mentioned before, we're part of the Chef Wonder and Geeko podcast networks. chefwonder.squarespace.com/GLS, geek-io.com/GLS. If you want to find the Google Hangout event page and watch us directly there, you can, G+, geekio.to/generic-live-show. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/generic-live-show, and the Patreon, like I mentioned before, is patreon.com/geekio. That's going to do it. We will see you all next week for yet another Generic Live Show. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
You're listening to a proud member of the Chef Wonder Podcast Network. To find out more about this and other shows, visit chefwonder.squarespace.com. Hope you like 2014.
You've been listening to a part of the Geek.io Podcast Network.
Loud noises!
Visit us at geek-io.com for all of our great shows.
The pressure is building slowly, inexorably inside me. Oh my.
Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it's bad for you. Go figure out how it works.
Geek.io. Copyright 2014.
I want to get out of here. I want to leave this place right now.
Crunchy, crunchy, crunchy. Hey, I just figured out something. I'm going to have to edit. That's a tight edit, by the way, of me jumping in here. Hey, I figured out the audio issue. Not necessarily the lag, but the crunchiness. It seems to be a bandwidth problem. It's odd. So I'm probably the only one on the network at the moment. So I don't know what that means. The ice bucket challenge. I should have talked about that. Why did I talk about that? Oh, damn it, why didn't I check Facebook before the show? I'm on Facebook during the show. Pretty Little Liars, and then Discover Tasmania. Alright. I'm going to end this broadcast. Yeah, right now. Thank you, everyone.